Hey, what's going on? It's Joe Petrie coming to you live here on my Facebook page, business page, and my YouTube page. Just out here walking the dog, thought I'd kill 3 birds, 1 stone, and do a quick Facebook Live. The app I'm using does not allow me to do this multiple broadcast and see, what's the word I'm looking for? Comments. So, if you have questions or comments about the topic I'm going to discuss today, go ahead, drop them in the comments. I will reply when I'm back in front of a computer or after the live stream when I can open up one of the apps and hit the respond button. But in today's video, I want to talk about the importance of your social media platform and how really cultivating it, managing it, and keeping the weeds out has a direct impact on your mental aspect, your mental fortitude towards your business, as well as what you're exposing, what you're letting into your business and your personal self. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Joe Petrie. Hi. If you're catching me live, say hi. Let me know where you're from. If you're catching the replay, drop the word replay in the comments. But yeah, this weekend I was doing work and listening to the Joe Rogan Podcast. He had on an entrepreneur, venture capitalist, angel investor. His name was Novel. Can't pronounce his last name. It was probably one of the best Joe Rogan podcasts I have ever listened to. Just so many nuggets, so many words of wisdom about creating wealth in your life, about serving others, about living a happy, fulfilling life. It was just an amazing podcast. But he ended up talking a little bit about politics because, it's just they pretty much, if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast before, they talk culture, right? And so it's hard not to discuss culture without kind of talking politics and the role of social media. Al just talks about how with the news media as it is, whether it is clickbait journalism or whether it is just social memes, things are being shared but from other people. He quotes, "The human designed to absorb all the world's breaking news and 24/7 emergencies injected into the skull with clickbait headlines. If you pay attention to that stuff, even if you have a sound mind and body, it will eventually drive you insane." Do you agree with that comment? Do you agree that when you see enough headlines, memes, news, fake or not, it eventually just starts to wear you down? And in our business, what we try to do is add value, serve others, and honestly, that news media, those journalists, they aren't really helping anybody, in my opinion. And I love being up to date as to what's happening, but to an extent. And so I found myself, working from home, having access to the computer and the interwebs all the time, pretty much going insane, getting caught into that dark rabbit hole of news, right? It's like Clockwork Orange when they pry your eyes open. It's just that 24-hour cycle of news. Your brain can only take so much. And so what I've really kind of done coming out of Vegas a week ago was make that conscious decision to start purging some of my social media sites of some of the people I follow, some of the subscribers. And I'm not talking friends and family. I'm talking like pages, YouTube channels. Just, I don't need to know. I don't need that. I don't need that in my feed all the time. It's weird. And Novel kind of talks more about why we crave that and what's the purpose of it. It kind of lends itself into virtue signaling a little bit. But what I've started to do also, and this is where I want to get to when it comes to your business, and this goes for everything, we want to make sure we're surrounded by people who are, I don't want to use the word tribe, and I hate the word like-minded. You want to surround yourself with people who are challenging your ideas, who have good information, who want to add value, who can bring something to the table, right? And so it's tough on Facebook world, and it's easy on social media to just kind of unfollow, unfriend a faceless person, someone maybe you've never met before. But I don't want to do that, especially people who I have some type of physical relationship with, whether they're someone I went to high school with or somebody I went to college with or maybe met in the grocery store, right? I want to stay in contact with them. But if they're also that individual who's just constantly dropping memes or news articles all the time in the newsfeed, and again, if you like one thing, the Facebook algorithm and how it works is Facebook's gonna like, oh, you like this one thing from this person, so we're gonna show you that one thing again and again and again and again from, or not the same thing, but similar things from that same person because you've engaged. And that's what I mean by like Facebook is an ecosystem. You got to look at your Facebook page, whether it's a business page, but I'm specifically talking about your personal page, as a garden. You have to weed it out. You have to cultivate it and you have to take care of it. Now, when I say weed it out, I'm not necessarily meaning blocking. I think blocking is an absolute like last ditch effort. If some creeper's on you, you're getting like threatening or harassing type comments or inappropriate comments, you don't know the person, insta-block, boom, done, end it right there, right? But if they're a friend from college and they're just kind of, you can have a conversation with them, but maybe that conversation doesn't go anywhere, definitely unfollow. I don't like to unfollow. And what I like to do is I actually like to snooze people for 30 days because it's just too much. I do that with a lot of like, oh God, back in the day, it was like a lot of Star Wars pages. I was getting all these notifications about Star Wars and I'm like, I don't need to know this much about Star Wars. I like it, but I don't need to know it. So I snoozed a bunch of groups that I was in that I wasn't really participating in, and they weren't really adding anything to my life other than just taking up valuable territory, valuable real estate on my newsfeed. And that's the way you also got to look at it. You got to look at your Facebook newsfeed as your real estate. What do you want to see in it? And again, these are your friends. These are people you may or may not know. Do you want to go that path of unfriending, unfollowing, or unblocking? I personally don't. I like to just snooze for 30 days, because what that means is they might not necessarily, I won't see their stuff for 30 days, but they can see my stuff. And I still want people to see my stuff. I still want people to see what I'm up to. They want them to see my videos. I want them to hear other counter ideas to the programming that's going on possibly in their feed, right? So that's what I recommend. I also recommend is, like a garden. Sometimes you have to, yes, weed, but you also have to bring in new dirt. You have to make sure there's plenty of sunshine. You have to water it. You maybe get some plant food. And that's the same thing. Maybe you have to plant new plants, right? Maybe your old plants not necessarily growing and you need new plants. So cultivate your Facebook ecosystem. I was taught and I learned this real simple kind of 5-5-3 rule when it comes to Facebook. You want to unfollow or remove 5 people that aren't really, is it 5? What is it? Now I'm messing it up. Definitely want to add 5 new people every day on Facebook if possible. You want to reconnect with 5 people. That's what the other 5 is. Reconnect or start conversations again with old friends. Hey, how are you? What's new with your kids? You just keep that up, because again, Facebook's algorithm operates under the intention of, who you engaged with last. Who are you talking to? So Messenger plays a big role as to what posts you are seeing in your Facebook newsfeed. So start conversations with people you haven't talked to in a while. And at the last ditch resort, remove 3 people. And how I do this, the way I start removing those 3 people is really simple. I go through my Facebook page, and if that Facebook profile no longer has a profile picture, they're no longer my friend. It's really easy. If you don't have a profile picture, good chances are that profile is no longer active. I will check on it, but I'll just remove them as a friend, and I'll continue to add and cultivate. This keeps that Facebook newsfeed ecosystem fresh. That keeps new people, new ideas being added to your feed, so you're just not bombarded with the constant memes of the daily natural emergencies that over time make it feel like it's actually happening to you in real life, when in fact it has nothing to do with your real life. So those are my tips. I hope they were helpful. If you like this video, smash that like button, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye everyone.